Welcome back, Lumberjacks and all you construction folks. This is episode 3. If you're new, I'm Lou Perez, your host of the Builder Upper Show, a podcast where we talk about everything in construction and trades. Now let's get into it. I would like to welcome our guest, Keith Battaglia, VP of Battaglia Industries. Welcome, Keith.
Thanks, Lou. Thanks for having me. Really excited to be here today.
Tell me, who is Battaglia Industries?
Well, we are the premier electrical and HVAC contractor in the Chicagoland area. We specialize in commercial and industrial electrical and HVAC work. We're design build. Good portion of our work, probably 70 to 80% of what we do is design build. That's it. That's us.
When did you get into construction?
I started out young, but the family's in construction. So it just always seemed to, I always seemed to be a tinkerer. It seemed to be somewhere I wanted to go and be in.
What is the thrill of construction like? How did everything begin?
The ultimate thing is you put your mark on the world, right? There are things that you put in that will be around long after you're gone. On one of your previous interviews, one of your interviewees talked about driving his family around and, pointing out all the buildings that he built. I think we all do that. My daughter goes to school in Louisiana and she brought a friend up. And as she's walking through the airport to meet us, she tells her friend, "Now I'm going to warn you, as we're driving around the town, my dad's going to point to random buildings and say, 'We built that.'" It's the fact that you actually change the world, put your mark on the world. At the end of the day, you've accomplished something. There's something physical that you've done. I think that's really the thrill of construction.
How many kids do you have?
I have four.
Oh, 4 kids. What's the ages?
Well, I've got a daughter who just got married this year. She's
congratulations.
an RN up in Green Bay. I've got a daughter who in Louisiana who's finishing her chemical engineering degree. I've got a son who just finished his civil engineering. He's a structural engineer here in Naperville. And my youngest son, he's a senior in high school, and his football team just won the 6A state championship.
Oh, man, you have a lot going on in your life right now. That's great. Doesn't sound like the apple falls far from the tree to me.
It's really the kids, mom. I got to be honest with you. It's really mom.
So I hear a lot about how Battaglia is a really successful company. I would like to kind of dig into that a little bit. How did you make Battaglia Industries successful to where it is today?
The company is my father, my brother, and myself. We really started on the dining room table on a Sunday dinner almost 30 years ago, talking about our jobs. My brother and I were electricians by trade. Everybody on my mother's side of the family is an electrician, except for one cousin. He's a plumber, but nobody really holds it against him. We were talking about our jobs, and my father, he has more of a corporate background. He was kind of a bigwig for a multinational corporation, and my brother and I figured we should take advantage of his knowledge. So we started doing some side work together, and Dad said, "Okay, now you do this, and now you do this." We got a little busier. We hired a couple of apprentices. One of them still with us, been with us the whole time. Sean's. You want to know any of our secrets? Talk to Sean. Sean will let you know. And then we got a little busier. We quit our jobs. We moved into a place in Arlington Heights. Got a little busier. Dad took an early retirement. We started the HVAC division about 25 years ago. One of our first HVAC employees is still with us. And we've been growing since then. Last 2 years ago, we moved into a larger space in Elgin, Illinois. We've got about 140 guys total in the company. And we just been very blessed by the people that we have work here and the culture that the people who have worked for us and work for us now have built. So it's been really great. It's been a really fun ride so far.
After you said all of that, one of the first things that popped up in my head was these employees have stayed with you for so long. What is Battaglia doing to keep these employees around that long?
Well, it's really the culture that the guys have built. First of all, for us, our deliverables to our customer, it's quality craftsmanship. And we do that through our training and our apprenticeship program. On-time delivery, everything in our industry, especially on the commercial side, is getting that place open, right? If you're a car dealership and you're not in the business to build car dealership locations, you're in the business of selling cars. So you've got to get open on time. Innovative thinking. Some of that we do with our prefab group and looking ways to cut time off of the customer schedule. How can we get out of the customer's way quicker? And then we work with you. You know, things come up. Construction isn't always a clear path. So our guys look to, and I know it's hard to believe for electricians, but we really try to work with the customer, work with the other trades, work with the general contractor to get the project done as quickly and as easily as possible.
Do you do anything internally with your employees that kind of help their growth mindset?
Well, training's always been a huge part of Battaglia. We have our own in-house apprenticeship program. It's a 4-year Department of Labor approved program. We've always found it easier to grow our own electricians. So currently we have three cohorts, first year, second year, third year. We're going to start our 4th year next year. And we start the training on, the apprenticeship includes, the curriculum includes not only NEC knowledge and electrical knowledge, as well as management and safety and basic math. I mean, we really try to help our guys be the best that they can be. And then we also do journeyman training. We have a complete training lab as well as classrooms in this new facility. It was one of the advantages of moving in here. And we do journeyman training. So we get both for in terms of safety and management and electrical skills, electrical and HVAC skills. So we really try to help guys. You know, you're not going to find a company that's more concerned about your professional growth than you will here. Our guys really feel that, hey, we're not the kind of company where somebody's going to come in and say, I'm not going to teach Joe how to do that because I'm afraid Joe might take my job. We're really the company that says, hey, in order for me to move up, I've got to have somebody behind me who's going to take my place. And that's part of our company culture is our guys are very, very concerned with each other's professional development. How do we make each other better? You know, one of the things that I like working here is that the guys don't have any fear of calling anybody and saying, hey, I need a hand with something. You know, sometimes guys get a little bit of an ego and, hey, I don't want to call anybody. I'm having an issue. I don't want to call anybody because I'm afraid somebody's going to think less of me. Here, it's very, very common that when a guy calls me and says, hey, Keith, I got an issue on my job, my answer is always, well, what do you think? And they inevitably come back with, well, I talked to Marty and Marty said this, and I talked to CJ and CJ said this, and I talked to Sam and Sam said this. So they feel open to enough to collaborate with each other, even though it's another lead guy, a guy who's maybe on the same level as he is, to problem solve and try to find the best answer rather than being afraid of, you know, somebody might think less of me. You know, that kind of cooperation and spirit of working together, really one of those things that are key to our culture.
It sounds like you've created the formula for generational success. And I mean, I love the setup. It sounds like that growth opportunity within the company is there. And I feel like that's definitely what's needed. Are you doing anything? Is there any, I guess, secret sauce to how you're scaling your business? Because 140 employees is quite a lot. You know, it's, you know, you're about a mid-sized construction company. How did you get to that point? Did you do anything special to grow?
Well, I think that the key to us, you know, is our people. You know, our guys we're really blessed with the crew that we have. We really have an unusual group of guys that, you know, just, you know, they work hard. They play hard. They're really the key to this, our ability to grow in that amount of time, you know, and they've really built the culture. I look at, I got a call yesterday from a guy that used to work for us. And he said, hey, you know, I got a customer and can you help me out with this? You know, even after guys leave, they feel free to call and say, hey, can you help me out with something?
That's great. That definitely says a lot. How does Battaglia get themselves out there? Do you guys go to trade shows? Do you have to expo? Like, how do you meet your clients?
Largely, our clients have been doing work with us for a very long time. Some of our first customers are still our best customers. My job as business development is pretty easy because we have such a great reputation. Our guys have built such a great reputation that people tend to come to us with those projects that, are a little bit more difficult and need a little bit more higher expertise. And our customers are really loyal. Most of our customers, we are their only subcontractor that they use in that trade. And like I said, some of our customers have been with us since the beginning, and we have really close relationships with a lot of them.
Congratulations on that success. It's wonderful to hear. Do you guys do holiday parties? How do you keep it fun for the guys to just love coming to work and, shout out from the mountaintops that Battaglia is the best place to work for?
Well, we have an annual bags tournament in the spring.
Nice.
Guys get together and they make up, they pair off together. They come up with funny names for their teams. And then we go out to the park district on a Friday afternoon and throw bags, and there's prizes for the best. But it's really about just hanging out with each other. The guys, we have a holiday party coming up here this week, and the guy here at the shop, and the guys will, it just gives the guys a chance to get together, because we have so many guys and we have different jobs. Sometimes you don't see the same guy for 6, 7, 8 months. And it's nice to get everybody together to kind of talk. We've done motorcycle rides for charity before. We've done in October. In October, we do pink shirts for the guys. For us, the pink shirts aren't a marketing item for us. Sometimes you see in October guys roll out pink trucks and all this. Where that really came from is one of the guys who works for us, a longtime employee of ours, Mike's wife was battling cancer, and he came to us and said, "Hey, can we do pink shirts for Fridays?" And of course, Mike, we will. And then somebody else had the idea that, hey, let's put the family members who are currently fighting, let's put them on the back of the T-shirt. So every year we come out with a new T-shirt, and we ask the guys, hey, if you want, we can put your family member's name on there, because sometimes you don't realize what everybody's going on in their life, and it's just, for us, it's more of a personal, let's support each other, rather than, hey, look at us, we're trying to market it. You know what I mean? We don't advertise it. We don't say anything. It's just kind of something we do internally, so, we can support each other.
That is really impactful. Making that part of your day to show your support really means a lot. That's great to hear. And something that you said really stuck out to me, because I love riding motorcycles. So next time you have that charity event, definitely invite me. I would love to go along for the ride. What kind of motorcycle do you have?
I got a Harley. I got an Ultra. I got an old man's bike. My brother teases me and tells me that's my last bike.
I have a little Ripper 78 Yamaha bobber. It's a lot of fun. I probably can't go as far as you can on the Ultra. You have a little more of a comfy ride over there. Do you take any long trips?
Not anything overnight, not with the family, but I do have a group that we go out and we'll put 400 or 500 miles on in a day and kind of hang out. But hey, we'll stop at a gas station every couple hundred miles if that's what you need. It's okay. We don't mind. We need to stretch the legs a little bit.
Yeah, I would definitely need it. The ride gets a little rough. I mean, I go just like an hour and a half, 2 hours away from me up north in Wisconsin here, and the scenery is beautiful, but I still need to stop and just jump off the bike and hang out. I don't know if I'm up to the part of camping out just yet. I'd probably say my maybe 2 more year goal is to do something, across states, maybe go out east or go out west. Just depends. I know that they have this Trog show in New Jersey or something where they bring their bikes out on the beach and show off all their old bikes. If mine can truck it all the way out there, I think that would be the ultimate goal.
Well, you got to ride the Dragon. You got to go out to Tennessee and ride the Dragon at some point.
I hear that the tail of the Dragon is something that is unforgettable. Like, I think that's going to be on the bucket list. And yeah, I think I'll have to plan that one out accordingly. And maybe for that one, I bring you along for the guide. That would be helpful.
Oh, amen.
Awesome. So shifting gears, no pun intended. Uh, how do you recruit young workers for your business? So I know I've heard that it's getting harder and harder by the day of bringing in new blood to come into the workforce and get them interested in jumping into the trades. Do you see a lot of workers coming directly from high school, or how does that all work out for you guys?
Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's hard for skilled trades in any trade to find workers, to find new workers to come into the trade. I remember watching Bloomberg a few years ago, and they had a panel they were interviewing, and the subject of the panel was how much would it cost to build an iPad in the United States. And one guy said, well, it would be $10,000 per iPad. And the other guy was like, it'd be $1 million to build this iPad. And the third guy was like, well, it's not really about the money. It's the fact that we've shipped off all of our skilled trades in manufacturing to other countries. We don't have the tool and die makers, and we don't have the machinists to create the machines to build it. And that's kind of what we're seeing in the trade as well. We're not seeing, when 08 hit, a lot of guys left the trade. So you have this big gap of guys that were skilled and at this point would be good mentors to the young guys. On top of that, we don't have enough kids coming into the trade. And so how we're doing that is we're working with the local high schools, and we're trying to bring kids in and show them what a great career this is. In the 4 years, you can go to college and end up with debt, or you can start out in the trade, earn while you learn, and then at the end of the 4 years, hey, maybe you got a new car, maybe you've got your own place, you're well established in your career, you're making great money, and you're on your way. We have a mini internship. We've got a couple of local high school students in it now. So they get out of school, maybe they'll attend a class or two in the morning, 1 day a week, and then the rest of the day they'll come out to a job site and they shadow a technician or an electrician for the day and kind of get introduced to what it is like to actually be in the trades. And then they can make an informed decision about, is this the career that they want to take, the path that they want to take, or maybe this isn't for them. So
that's really cool.
Yeah, so we've been working with the local high schools to get more kids interested in it, as well as our safety and education director goes out to the high schools and gives talks to the industrial arts classes about, the trades in general and how to get involved.
That is so cool. Yeah, that's great. And you put a really nice value prop on there. You don't want to go into debt. Just go start making money. Go after it. You're all set up. Not every kid's cut out for college, and it's good to know that they have something that they can jump towards and have a really great career out of.
If they decide to come on board and be an apprentice with us here at Battaglia, because it is a Department of Labor approved program, they know at 1,000 hours, I get an increase. So 1,000 hours on the job, I get an increase, and those are regularly scheduled increases. So they already know, hey, at the end of the 4 years, this is where I'm going to be at. This is my journeyman wage, and this is what I'm going to be at. And all that is regulated through our agreement with the student and with the Department of Labor, as well as the student's agreement with the Department of Labor. So you already know where you're going to be. All you got to do is put in the effort to get there.
It's a great setup. How did you build this program? How did you even make that available?
We got really lucky. We got a gentleman that works for us. He was an associate professor at Loyola University, and he was looking for a change of career. So we brought him on board, made him an electrician. He worked really hard. He went through the apprenticeship, became a journeyman. He began running jobs for us. And my brother said, we should tap into Wes's prior knowledge. So we made him our safety and training director, and he put the curriculum together. He went to the Department of Labor and did the heavy lifting. He teaches two of the 2 of the classes he teaches the first year and the third year. He roped me into teaching the second year. So that's kind of how we got started. It was again, everything that I look at that we do, it goes back to how blessed we are with the employees that we have.
How lucky is that, just to come by a associate professor at Loyola and then bring them in house and build out an academy for kids to take advantage of right out of high school. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, we are completely blessed. And we have other guys coming in that maybe they have a year or 2 experience. So they want to join the apprenticeship program too. I mean, we really, the guys that work for us, they really want to be the best that they can be. Like I said, you're not going to find a company who's more concerned with your professional development than you will here. One of our prefab manager, he just had a baby yesterday. And
congrats to him.
He was texting everybody in the office pictures, individually, not a group text, individually, because, sharing that great news. So yeah, absolutely.
Sounds like you have a real family there at Battaglia. I'll switch it up here. I wanted to ask you about technology. So I know the younger generation, technology is at their fingertips. There's almost like you could say a generational shift within the construction industry where more people are utilizing tech within the business to help modernize the way that they do business in general, even within the back office. How does Battaglia take advantage of this technology, if you guys do take advantage of technology today?
Lou, you hit it on the head. It has changed so much during my career. I mean, when I first started, we were ripping cardboard off the box and taking a Sharpie and writing down our lists of material we need for the next day. Now everything is on the pad. Everything is on the phone. We just went through and upgraded all the phones, all the field guys' phones, to get them a little bit more power. We're constantly adding software. We're going through now and we're changing the hardware in the office. We added a server. We're changing some of the desktops out in anticipation of some new software coming up. The everything from punching in and punching out and keeping track of time and payroll, as well as, the guys can do their vacations and their time off requests through there. Then, we're the software that we use to communicate with the field. I mean, it has changed so much that we don't even have drawings in the office. You walk around the office when we first were in Arlington Heights, everybody had a drawing rack. Everybody had paper everywhere. Now you walk down our estimators hall and the guys have big screens. Nothing's really printed out anymore. They mark up their drawings. They can send them out to the PMs. The PMs can do their markups, send them out to the field. The layout technology, our prefab group can lay out the entire underground, download it to the machine, send it out to the job site, and the guys can lay out perfectly. No more strings all over the place where guys are tripping off of, and then, we missed this wall. Now we got to chip the concrete out. It's just amazing the way the construction has changed, how technology has changed the construction industry. And I'm really looking forward to where we're going to be in the next 10, 15 years. We were at the prefab conference and we met our peer group. We belong to a really good peer group. And we met in Phoenix and toured a prefab facility, and they had the goggles where you could put them on and you could see the ductwork in the air, right? You could see the electrical lines in the air. That when that starts hitting the job site, that's really going to change things. Where it's no longer you're looking on the pad, you're looking through a pair of glasses that are showing you what that room's supposed to look like, what that layout's supposed to look like.
That is wild.
And our prefab group is really, really leveraged technology and communicating out to the job site what they're building and how that should go when it gets out to the field. QR codes. I mean, it's crazy the amount of change that's happened because of technology.
Do you see using like automated timesheets that can tie into payroll?
Absolutely, Lou. I mean, if you think about it, when I first started, you'd get this paper timesheet that you had to fill out, right? Then you had to get it to the office somehow, whether you gave it to your site supervisor, right? And then he had to collect them all, and then he had to drop them off at the office at the end of the week, or you emailed them in or mailed them in. Timesheets would get lost because back in the day when we were much smaller, I was the guy that was inputting the timesheets into the computer, and then my mom would cut the checks and go from there. The amount of time that it took, it was, and we had but 40 guys at that point, 45 guys. It was half a day for just my work, in addition to what my mom had to do just to get payroll out. Now everything just gets downloaded on Monday afternoon. They go through the timesheets. The guys can make the corrections on their timesheets in their apps. It just makes it so easier. You're not calling guys, hey, where's your timesheet? Oh, I left it on the dashboard of my truck or forgot it on the counter at home. That efficiency, that amount of time that it cuts down has really, and the accuracy of those timesheets and the payroll. Now you don't have to go back because, oh, he missed a day, or there were 2 hours overtime, or this was unclear. It's made it so much easier. Payroll and the administrative side of it's so much easier than it was when I started.
Even just to unpack it a little bit more, you mentioned previously you use even software for like dispatch and stuff like that. So, how does that benefit you as far as using software just do scheduling and dispatching?
Our service crews, when they start in the morning, they don't have to come in the office and get their work orders and get going. All they got to do is open up their app and they have all their service calls. And then they can take pictures, they can download pictures onto the site, they can generate emails and invoices to the customer right on site. We also use it for change orders. Used to be the same thing with change orders in the field. At the end of the job, somebody would show up with a stack of change orders that they kept in their gang box because they didn't have a chance to run it to the shop. Now they can enter their change orders on the app. It gets emailed to the PM. The PM can get the change order over to the customer, because paperwork's always an issue for your general contractor. When I talk to our customers, I always say, hey, what are your pain points? 1, 2, or 3 is always paperwork, right? Nobody likes to get change orders at the very end of the job. By using the app and processing that paperwork faster, we can be more responsive to our customer, right? If there's service calls come up in the middle of the day, well, Nicole takes care of our service guys. She does a great job. If changes come up, she can send it through the app. They get all the information that they need. She has past history in front of her of the customer, what we've done before. And it just makes things so much more efficient and so much easier than the old 3-part work tickets. Remember those 3-part work tickets? I think I might have a box somewhere in the attic of that stuff. And it was crazy, right?
Yeah, it makes a huge difference having these applications at your fingertips.
And pricing, we're able to load the material into the app. So the guys can come up, they can price it out on the job site and let the customer know, this is what your cost is going to be for this change, or on a service call, hey, this is what our estimate, or this is what it's going to take. Not an estimate, this is what it's going to take to do it. Technology, if you're not leveraging technology at this point, you're behind.
I'm with you on that.
One of our secret sauces, one of the advantages we've had is that my father has this business background. Most guys, most tradesmen, they were really, really good tradesmen. And they saw their boss and they said, hey, I could do that. But they don't understand it's a different set of skills that you need to manage a business rather than working a business. I talked a little bit about my peer group before. I remember we were having a peer group meeting and I made comment like, man, I wish I could go back and, just one day be an electrician again, throw my tools down and just rough out all day, right? Just bend pipe all day. And one of the most senior peer group members, a guy I really look up to, he said, you got to stop thinking of yourself as an electrician. He goes, I don't want to do that. You're not an electrician who owns a company. You're a business owner who happened to be an electrician. And you have to, and that kind of changed the mindset for me, all of a sudden, he's right. I'm managing a business now. And it's a completely different set of skills to managing a business than being an electrician who's running jobs. And a lot of guys don't, they get to that 6, 10, 12 guys, and they can't seem to get over that hump because they don't have the business skills to get them to that next level. Technology is a big part of that, and training and learning. It's like I said, it's a different set of skills. One of the worst things that I hear from guys is, I'm busy as heck, but I'm not making any money. I don't know if I'm making any money. That's a very difficult position to be in, right? I strongly recommend to guys to, hey, get yourself those sets of skills. Join an organization like Associated Builders and Contractors. And because a lot of guys join those organizations, or Chamber of Commerce. A lot of people join those organizations because they think, oh, I'm going to join, and all of a sudden I'm going to have all these customers come in. Well, that's not really the biggest benefit of being part of those organizations. We met at ABC of Illinois' construction symposium this year, right? It was a whole day of skills that companies need, owners need to help run their company. That's really what those organizations, the best benefit of those organizations is they help you learn the skills you need to take your company to the next level. In our apprenticeship program, part of the apprenticeship program is job management, is management in general, right? How to manage people, how to manage materials, how to manage the schedule. Most of us started when we got to the point where we're ready to run jobs. Their boss handed them a set of drawings and said, call me in 2 weeks, right? Well, our philosophy has always been, hey, we need to teach our guys before they get there what their responsibilities are and how to handle those responsibilities when they get to that management position. And it's the same if you're running jobs, and then the next level, if you decide to get into further management, PM, or own your own company, it's really a different set of skills, and you got to have those skills or you're going to get stuck.
There's new regulatory compliance laws that come out that affect the construction industry. Do you do anything to help you keep up with any regulatory compliance laws that go on? And I know that you work majority in Illinois. Is that correct?
Yep. Illinois and southeastern Wisconsin and northwestern Indiana.
How do you keep up with all these laws and regulations that they have in the construction industry?
Well, a lot of it is relying on our industry partners, relying on ABC. They really do a great job with local and national government, keeping us informed of what the changes are and how, they have seminars, they have their coffee and construction series. ABC Wisconsin, I think they have their super convention coming up. We really rely on our industry partners to help us keep up with that and keep informed. We also belong to a couple of peer groups, one for our electrical division, one for our HVAC division. Our electrical group, which I'm more involved in, there's companies all across the country. We're all about the same size. We're all basically in the same markets. And we get together 3 times a year and we do a little bit of business development, but then we also do talk a little bit about how things are going in our companies. And it's really great to be able to have somebody who's doing the same thing and having the same struggles that you can talk to and help each other out with, but not being so concerned about being a competitor. So that's one way. And you hit on something too. We want to see our competition do well, because if they're better, we're better. I have certain competition that I would rather be bidding up against on a job than other guys, because I know the guys that I want to bid on, they're more organized. They have a better work crew. They have a better handle of what's going on. I know that when it comes time to bid, that they're going to be 2 good bids, right? I don't want to get into a situation where we're bidding on a project and the guy that makes the biggest mistake is the guy that gets the job. You know what I mean?
Okay. Is there any secret to winning bids?
For us, winning the bid comes prior to the opportunity to bid on the project. Past performance, its reputation, its culture, it's being able to get the job done. We have customers that come to us and say, hey, I've got a project you want to work on. Sometimes it fits. Sometimes we take a look and say, hey, this isn't a good fit for us. We don't want to overcommit and then fall down on our face, especially for somebody who's approaching us. So we have a list of people that we say, hey, these are people we could probably bring in as customers. We just don't have the bandwidth to properly service them at this point.
That's really commendable to, you're not going to overpromise and underdeliver. That's going to mean that every time that you do business with somebody, you're going to be delivering an amazing product or result, and they're going to keep coming back for more.
We want to service the heck out of our customers. We want to be we want to make it easy for them to pick up the phone and call us. We want to be their experts. We have a customer We've been doing work with them for a long time, and they have a unique program. They have a Vendor of the Year program. And what they do is they go out to it's not like a couple of executives sit in their office and say, oh, let's give it to this guy. They go out and they poll their site superintendents, their PMs, their financial people, and say, who are the vendors that you want to work with? Well, we've won that award 5 years in a row. That is huge for us. That's when that comes out, everybody in the company celebrates that, because that speaks to us that, hey, we're hitting our marks. We're doing what we want to do. We're following our culture. That award means a lot to us internally, and we're really appreciative that we've been able to achieve that. And it makes us work harder to try to get it again next year.
You guys really set the bar high. Where do people find Battaglia Industries? What if they want to work with you? How do they find you?
We're on the web at www.battagliaindustries.com. Give us a call in the office. We're located here in Elgin, Illinois. Give me a call. We'll talk.
Awesome. I love it. I know we're at the top of the time here. Before we wrap up, I do have one last question for you. Do you have any advice for new construction owners that you'd like to share with our listeners?
Just a little bit about what we talked about. Make sure that you're constantly working on the business, not for the business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get yourself involved with ABC and attend those seminars that they have that will help you get those skills that you need. They're coffee and construction. Pay attention to the regulatory stuff. Get involved with, if you feel you need it, get yourself a business coach. There's a lot of great guys out there who do great job of helping guys who are just starting out. Don't be afraid to ask for help. It's not about the skills that you had as a technician. It's about this new set of skills that you have to develop as a business owner.
Man, great advice, Keith. I think everybody can note that down. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Go get a coach. Concentrate mainly on the business and let the business work for you. I love it. Keith, thank you so much for being a guest on the show. Everyone, go ahead and like and subscribe, comment, share the Builder Upper Show with everybody that you know. We look forward to bringing you a great show next time. Thank you.
Thank you, Lou. Thanks for such a thoughtful interview.
If you're a construction contractor and would like to appear as a guest on our podcast, write us an email. It's lou@lumberfy.com.